The Southwest, where the landscape constantly reminds of days gone by when gunslingers were the arm of the law. Tonight, there's a new arm in town.
You know, pretty much just a pocket passer. I don't really like to run around too much. I like to sit in the pocket and try to find the open guy. Put some heat on the ball. I got the players, they respect me and I respect them, and I think that it's a mutual type of deal. But we got some guys that can move and get going and go after the ball. It's a big game, you know, we're excited. We haven't won a bowl game in a long time, and we want to try to get one of those under our belt.
John Walsh, named after me, right? Oh, son of a gun. Best darn quarterback in the world, right here with me right now. And Duke's ghost wouldn't lie to you, Pilgrim.
Welcome to the 1994 Weiser Lock Copper Bowl, presented by Ford. Tonight, the Cougars of Brigham Young University, the number 21 ranked team in the nation, taking on the Sooners of Oklahoma. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin, and you saw the shots just a moment ago. What a sunset we were treated to about 15 minutes ago here in the great Southwest, the scene of tonight's Copper Bowl game. Mike Gottfried joins me on the telecast as usual. And Mike, speaking of things of beauty, there are a lot of people that think that quarterback John Walsh for the Brigham Young Cougars, although he's only a junior, may be as fine a quarterback as there is in the country. Some people say he may come out early. Your thoughts on him?
I think for sure he's going to come out, Ron, and he's an excellent drop back passer. He has a very strong arm, and he's a very accurate passer. He has a very quick release, but if he has a negative, he doesn't have very good mobility. And in an age when they put a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks, you like a quarterback that can escape.
Well, as far as the your face, he has prowled that sideline at Provo for a long time. 23 seasons, 73% his winning percentage. Real irony for this young man right here. You see his numbers and what he has done, conference and also non-conference. He is coaching his final ball game tonight, Mike, here in Tucson. Oddly enough, he coached his first as the new head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners right here in Tucson.
But this is a Barry Switzer game plan. Run the option and run the football against BYU for Gary Gibbs tonight.
Third down, and the line to make is the 45. BYU creeping up defensively. He goes down on one knee. He lost his footing. He was knocked down by Udufale, but he had gone down on one knee, and they're going to spot him dead at the 38-yard line, and it's 1,000-yard rusher at BYU. But boy, does he ever give them some great balance, and it really helps that passing game. Speaking of the passing game, a very talented group of wide receivers. Tim Nowatzki, though, is the go-to guy, number 42 out of Michigan City. The offensive line, Evan Pilgrim gets a lot of attention at right guard. He is awfully good, as well as 76 Eli Harry, who lines up right next to him. Walsh on first down. They fake the reverse. Going to go up on top and got a man wide open at the 50-yard line. It's Willis. Breaks one tackle and he takes it down to the 35-yard line. Bush finally got it.
Well, that's the way you like to start off a bowl game, because there's not a lot of pressure in a bowl game. Open it up with a fake here to the back. Now you fake a reverse. Jamal Willis is out of the backfield, and they caught Oklahoma up inside expecting to run. Larry Bush not even around Jamal Willis, and a big play for John Walsh and the BYU offense.
So officially it is 43 yards on the opening play from scrimmage. They fake the reverse and throw the completed pass. Oklahoma gets caught in the middle of a shift here, and they run it back into the boundary, and Willis will take it for a gain of close to 5 yards in the play. And let's check. Walsh getting pressure, throws it back into the boundary, and Willis fights it rather than catching it, and he throws it to the ground as he tries to.
Long arm, and he's a very accurate quarterback. The quarterback, when you play at BYU, you've got to be a decision maker. John Walsh is the only deficit I see, Ron, is the fact that he doesn't have good movement. In an age when people blitz you a lot, I don't know if he can get away from the rush. He needs another year in school, but I figure he's out of here after this ball game.
Yeah, I think you're right. We'll get a shot of Robbie Bosco shortly. He's on the coaching staff, but a lot of people liken him to Bosco, same style. Walsh under pressure, steps it up, and then throws it complete at the 23. Chad Lewis the tight end, and he's going to have the first down by a couple of yards. So Walsh demonstrates right there. Good one. It's going to be second down and 11. Walsh under pressure, gets it away just as he's being tackled, and it is caught and taken to the 13-yard line. McGuire made the reception. You're trying to get somebody on late, couldn't do it. Third down, very short yardage. Walsh straight ahead in the quarterback sneak. And it appears as though at the 11-yard line he's going to have it. As Simpson is in 10. BYU can pick up the first down without scoring. I'm moving on the draw play again. Blocker in front, and that's a good tackle at the 7-yard line as Anthony Fogle came up and just stopped him in his tracks. Notice that all these plays have gone away from Cedric Jones of OU. Second down, looking for the end zone, got a man wide open. It is a touchdown to Bryce Doman.
Ron, a great call. Two things make this play. Number one, they caught him in the blitz. Tyrell Peters on the blitz as you look at Robbie Bosco. But Larry Bush, the corner, Bryce Doman really cut down his split. He really had him inside so that he had a lot of room to work on the outside with the out route, and Bryce Doman wide open. Here's from the end zone. You're going to see the blitz. Tyrell Peters, number 45 on the blitz. Now the ball being thrown to Bryce Doman on the outside. See how far away he is from Larry Bush. I mean, he just worked the field with the tight split. Outlet receiver for John Walsh. They have a three-level passing game. They've got a deep route, they have an intermediate route, and they've got a short route. So they're always got a way to dump the football off. And it's a great point. One of the reasons they throw such a high percentage, Mike. 8 seconds down to 7. Almost the end of this opening quarter. Walsh sets nicely. Good protection. Now it breaks down. And the pass is caught at the 45-yard line by Nowatzki, who came back to help his quarterback. And boy, Walsh really took a head-high shot on that one. It was Henderson who did it. That's the end of the first quarter. Our score, BYU 7, Oklahoma nothing. Arm strength that he has and the ability, as you see, to throw the deep comeback here. Just throw the ball right on the money. Footwork, as we watch his footwork now, he's able to move up into the pocket, dump the ball off. Footwork in the first quarter has been very good. The only problem, as I said before, is his escapability. He doesn't look like he has quick feet to get away from any kind of rush, but that's not a big knock. I mean, he's got all the other things. He's 12 for 14, 139 yards here in the first quarter. Can't play much better than that. Play selection, 6 runs, 14 passes, BYU. 7 runs, 5 passes, Oklahoma. Fake the run, drills the pass, complete at the 30. Oh, what a hit. McGuire caught it. He got bratted by Darius Johnson. A good, solid quarterback, but sometimes you draft a quarterback too high. Doman on the reverse, and the quickness of the Oklahoma defense wanted a stop right here. He's got to play defense. He's got to have a stop. Brent DeQuasie has just come back in at the linebacker replacing Lucky. Short drop this time. Pass over the middle. I think he got it. He did. Chad Lewis. And interestingly enough, in visiting with the coaching staff from BYU, they simply said this may be as good a pair of tight ends as they've had up there. And Lewis shows why right there. Well, Chad Lewis made a great catch. He's a 6'11" high jumper, so a pretty good athlete. Walked on at BYU. Shotgun this time. Pressure up the middle. Gets his pass away. He's got a man there, and it's caught by Nowatzki. First and goal, BYU. The receivers and running backs from BYU are putting on a clinic here in the first half of how to get open when you don't have the most speed. In other words, there's no one who ever convinced me that Tim Nowatzki has more speed than Darius Johnson of Oklahoma. But he runs a great route, and he's able to stick the defender and then break away from him. Nowatzki, number 42, find the open area, and the ball's right on the money again from John Walsh with a big completion down to the 4-yard line. Have Lewis, number 96, or Mealy, number 95. Some type of crossing route. Nowatzki in motion. Short drop, got his man there, and hit an incomplete Chad Lewis.
really got tagged. And he got tagged by Anthony Fogel.
Chad Lewis was open. Just a little hook route. Anthony Fogel with a good play. Looked like this.
Flag comes down as the kick is good, and let's check the marker. 21. Third down, and he needs the 21-yard line. Got away, lofted it, and has a man open. Willis across the 45 all the way out to the 47-yard line. And I go back to a point that we made in the booth on a break just a while ago. This is something that BYU does as well as anybody, and that is ad-lib for their quarterback when somebody's...
BYU, they've already passed what they did in 11 games, giving up pass yardage. The Oklahoma defense. When you look at the teams they played, Colorado's a throwing ball club. Kansas State, of course, throws the football quite a bit. This team probably throws the ball more than any of those two teams that they've played.
Walsh is going to carry, and you have to believe that that was a broken play right there, because once he wanted to either fake or hand it off, and then he just headed for the sideline. 9:32 left until halftime. 10-0 BYU. On third down, lobs the pass, has his man open. Hamuli breaks off the tackle and is going to take it down to the 25-yard line.
Hamuli, and when you look at the success of BYU's throwing game, they've always got running backs that can catch the football, but the start of it is offensive line play. Eli Herring and Evan Pilgrim giving protection to John Walsh, and then he caught him in too deep coverage and got Hamuli right down the middle. Malin Wesley, number 5, trying to bring him down. Finally, it's Rod Henderson, number 17, on the tackle.
I'd say that that was a pretty good balance on the part of Hamuli. If you look at the numbers, 256 yards, and here comes the reverse. Nowotski. I'm not so sure he didn't want to throw that football, Mike.
He cannot allow another score by John Walsh.
Well, the big plays is something that Tom Hayes said, well, that was one of the 3 things that they simply couldn't allow to happen. 2 huge third down plays already. But the end zone, was it caught in bounds? Yes. Touchdown, Johnston.
Ron, you know the thought that comes to my mind? One team that's got a coach that's been over there for over 20-some years, and they're playing tonight another team in a transition that's lost their coach and lost their coaching staff and really doesn't have any direction tonight. And the motivation, I thought that they would play hard, and because of the competition of the thing, but it just doesn't look to me like the same ball club I saw against Syracuse the first game of the year.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. 8:18 left until halftime as Lauder hits the extra point. And take a look at this catch. 17-0, and look at this. Foot in bounds. Yep.
What your alma mater's doing tonight.
It just goes to show you what a good offense can do out there. You know, you get to throw the ball a lot, and the guys are open all over the field.
Jim, is it the players or is it the scheme?
I think it's got a lot to do with the scheme. You know, guys have come through here and put up great numbers, and John's doing the same tonight.
You know, the one guy who jumped about 2 feet off the ground when he saw you tonight was Lavelle Edwards, and I'm sure it was great for you to see him again.
Well, I haven't seen Lavelle for a while, and he was always great to me while I was here. I spent 5 years with him, and he's a good friend.
From what you've seen of John Walsh tonight, you impressed? Is he ready for the NFL?
Well, from what I've seen, yeah. You know, he's throwing the ball real well, and it all depends on who he gets drafted by, because as you know, in the pros, sometimes you don't get to do the things you get to do in college.
What about your future?
Well, I'm going to be somewhere. You know, hopefully I'd like to be back here with Arizona, and the weather's great. Get to play golf twice a week, and we'll just see what happens.
Young Zach got any quarterback in him?
I don't know. This kid never sits still. If he's like his older brother, he'll play hockey.
Okay, Jim, great to see you. Say hello to Nancy, and I'll send you those Gladiator T-shirts, man.
All righty. Jim McMahon.
he makes a good point, Ron, on system.
On who picks you up.
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
It's a good point because...
and he knows as well as anybody because he's been in some that he liked, and really there was great harmony, and then he's been in one or two that he was not so wild.
Well, there's such a thing as a fit for a quarterback and an offense, defense, the whole thing.
Muirbrook is the man who gets across to make the hit, and that play was...
Had to shift some of their offense, and they've really tried to go back to the ground game a little bit. Now here's where a guy like Terrence Brown's vulnerable to throw an interception.
Tripped up, sacked back at the 20-yard line by John Ross.
The last thing you want to do is put a quarterback at Terrence Brown, inexperienced, and a running quarterback in third and about 15.
Not getting it done for you, then it turns into an unfair thing because we've got the number 12 defense in the country.
Well, it's a good point, Ron, because they have to make something happen. They've got to cause a fumble, intercept the pass. They got to be more aggressive than maybe they'd like to be in this situation.
I know has 5, 6, and 7, and he's to the 35 arm that he's had at BYU.
Well, he always looks forward to seeing you in those Texas ties.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that is the end of the first half with our score. BYU 17 and Oklahoma nothing. Now let's join Mike Tirico in Miami with the Duracell halftime report.
In with identical records of 9-2, but Grambling would have liked to finish the season in different fashion.
Well, you're right, Joel. They started out their first 9 games undefeated, scored over 49 points a ball game. Their last 2 times out, couldn't get a win and only managed 1 touchdown against Florida A&M and Southern. Coach Eddie Robinson, and talking to him this week, very disappointed with the way his team played fundamentally in those last 2 ball games. Excited they have one more opportunity to finish the '94 campaign with a positive note.
On the other hand, south of the Holiday Bowl, let's go to Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson.
All right, Joel, this is what we consider final preparations for the 17th Holiday Bowl here in San Diego.
What's the deal here, Nessler? You don't do a game unless there's a party involved?
Well, it's usually a prerequisite, but look who's talking here.
No, this is for the other guy, Karsten, right here.
Yeah, he does need his nutrition as we get set for Colorado State and Michigan. And we
control the ball, get the kid comfortable, do what he can do. But now you're down 17-0 playing against an offense like BYU. Now you got to open up the key. You got to open it up and take a chance and try to see what you can do and play a little more aggressively. And if you get blown out, you get blown out. What's the difference?
Yep, that's right. Because it ain't looking too good right now.
No, it's not a picture of art.
That's Willis in motion back to the top of your screen. Now they're going to bring him back. And what they wanted to do is they didn't want him to stop. They wanted him to stop and then go in motion toward the sideline. Tyrell Peters makes the stop. Let's go down to my throw game, as we mentioned off the top of the telecast. Was right here in Tucson. He lost that one 6-3, and they had to use a reserve quarterback in that ball game as well. Broken play, it's going to go for a first down, so take it out.
Look, and Oklahoma's at 61 yards total offense, 3 first.
27, 293, 2 touchdowns,
and 0
interceptions.
That's the key. 0 interceptions. Could have
to be a 1,000-yard rusher, which is a rare breed of cat there, but the only one to do it twice. Walsh on third down and not going to get it this time, although he throws it complete to Mealy. But on third down, that's when they've been really deadly.
Well, you
wanted to get them both in the ballgame. Put one at fullback. Deep over the middle. Got a man. Little contact there, and the Sooner fans wanted interference, but there will be none.
Got the feet.
I think it's out west.
I believe
Western
it.
Oklahoma.
I don't know.
And if it's not, I'm sure we'll get a lot of phone calls to let us know, but I believe that's right, Michael. Chad Lewis, the tight end. Now you got us doing a little get away, take some time and make some decisions.
There's some talk that maybe the Cleveland Browns would have an interest in him as a defensive assistant.
Ball almost intercepted, and Fogel should have had it, and he knows it. Anthony with it. Second and 20. Walsh deep over the middle, got a man there, and a completion to Haimuli out of the backfield.
Well, he was wide open. Hema Haimuli again against 2 deep coverage. In the
5:25 left in the third. This is Willis behind a block. And inside the 20, he'll have the first down. Good block. Jamal Willis inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line, and it is first and goal. Brigham Young.
Indianapolis teammate in high school.
first and goal. You see him pull those big linemen. But Willis is going to be hit with a nice ankle high tackle. That's Tyrell.
The football game here.
This is the 11th play of this drive. Pass incomplete. Got him open. Touchdown BYU, Mike Johnston. Second touchdown for him tonight.
BYU bring both their wide receivers inside. Mike Johnson working outside. John Walsh on the rollout. Wide open Mike Johnson. You're seeing him come in motion. Johnston is going to the outside. See both the receivers going inside. Mike Johnston to the outside. The pass is there, and there's no one near
to Johnston tonight. It is 24-0. Probably should have been one, but Fogle lost it in the lights is the only thing we could figure, because he certainly had it, or had drawn a bead on it, and all of a sudden he just couldn't come up with it.
Ron, I think we'll see Clements here real soon. I think this is probably it for John Walsh. I would think it would be anyway.
Play action, pumped it once, going to go on top. Got his man there, Doman. Complete across midfield at the 42-yard line of OU. 36 yards in the pass play. Walsh looking for him, in fact telling him to go downfield. That's who he throws it to, and just a little too high. Larry Bush with the cover.
Talk about good
game, but that he is not extremely swift of foot, but he also seems to have a feel for the rush. Now, how important is that?
I think that's very important, you know, because in a system where you have check downs like BYU, what I mean by that is his receivers checking down in short routes all the time. He's able to find them. Now, Jim McMahon hit a good point with Mike. Give James Johnson some credit because he's been able to handle him one-on-one, because the one thing BYU does not want to do in their offense is tie up a running back on a blocking screen. They like to release him.
Nowacki on the middle screen, and he'll take it to the 35. I'll tell you what, if Simpson does not come up into the middle of that fray and make that hit, there the three blockers were beyond him. I think he's still running for 6 more. It all started with them right here in the stadium, and they came down here and shocked a previously unbeaten Arizona team, and they did it with their own form of defense. It was one of those touchdowns that they wanted with came off a defensive play, a fumble return.
And if you remember,
on the defensive side of the ball, Broderick Simpson. Broderick with 13 tackles. Walsh rolls the pocket this time, picks up a block nicely, got a man open in the end zone. Touchdown, Brigham Young, and it's going to be Doman. Bryce Doman with his touchdown. To 6 with the extra point attempt to come.
Play, ball on his hip, rolling to his right. He's got his tight end wide open, but he didn't want to take his tight end. He went for the big play, threw across his body to a wide open Bryce Doman. Anthony Fogle, the safety number 9, just couldn't make the play. Watch him as he knows he wants the big play. He could have taken a 10-yard play, but he was able to go to Bryce Doman for the touchdown.
So we have 5:19 left to play in this 1994 edition of the Weiserlock Copper Bowl. And LaVell Edwards finally is bringing a little smile to his face, and he should, with a 31-6 lead. And on the other side of the
They had a chance. They had a chance with a quick 3. Matt Maloney picked his pocket on the way in. Ira Bowman, the transfer from Providence, and has it this time. Second one. From the NBA area, Lopez misses it. Pennsylvania has beaten St. John's on their home court, 79-73. Jerome Allen, the tournament MVP. We'll talk about that. Lucky Waters will talk with Brandon.
And I thought he was calling the player's number 39, but
The Philadelphia kid.
drop play. And the flag comes in as Biggle will take it over the 30 to the 31-yard line. Now the celebration begins on the sideline. Travis Hall patting the shoulder of John Walsh. I have a feeling that a lot of those players know that that's the last time.
During the run.
And I have a feeling, as you said, Mike, that a lot of those players know it's the last time that they're going to be in the same uniform with John.
I think the tip-off is a junior college quarterback. If that wasn't the case, a quarterback who's his best friend and has 2 for 2, he has to play the 2 years. He did not. I don't believe he'd come to BYU knowing that John was going to be back another year. I just don't think. I think that's a signal.
Yeah, I think you're right. With the running play again, and they'll have the first down easily as Knowles. Chad,
what they both do.
Cummings scrambling around here, gets his pass away. He's got it. Knowles open. Stops the clock with 1:05 to play.
He threw that one across his body, and he took a hit, and they knocked Steve Clements clear out of bounds on that play.
We saw Steve's brother.
Dead silence mean anything?
Well, it's kind of like where's Altus, you know? At least I'm not doing geography on you. The answer to that is Ole Miss and LSU. LSU won that huge battle, 7-3 in the Cannon
picked Ole Miss. I knew
punt return, and Ole Miss won it 21-0.
Johnny Ball
return miles west of Oklahoma City. I didn't want to offend anybody in the great state of Oklahoma.
Triple A will be happy you did that.
Yeah, I know it. Hopefully it'll keep down the mail too. 24 seconds left in this one. 31-6. Brigham Young. And Lavelle Edwards is about to get his 6th bowl win. And we say so long to Gary Gibbs, and we mean sincerely. We wish him the very best in whatever venture, whether he goes into private business or whether he stays in football. We wish him the best. Well, that's the end of the ball game with our final score. Brigham Young 31 and Oklahoma 6. Sports Center is coming up next. So for Mike Gottfried and Mike Adamle, Ron Franklin, and our entire ESPN crew saying, folks, we wish you a very, very happy new year. We're going to say so long from the desert as Brigham Young wins this ball game tonight and wins it convincingly. From Tucson, Arizona, Ron Franklin saying good night, everybody.